In this video, we are going to learn adding integers. So let's just remember what an integer is. An integer is our negative and positive whole numbers. So like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So those are our integers. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple different combinations of these numbers and we are going to add them together. So we're gonna start off basic with 3 plus 5. And the reason I start with this is because we are always starting on 0. So if we can understand a problem that we already know how to do, this will help us out. So if I have 0, and I always like to put money on it because it's easier to kind of think about. If I have $0, that's what I'm starting with, then I have $3. So I'm gonna go to 3. 1, 2, 3. And right now I'm at 3. And it's saying from 3, add 5. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we end up at 8. Okay? Now, if I, for number 2, do the same exact process, but I am using negatives instead. So I start at 0, I go to -3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? I'm at -3. And I'm going to add -2. So that means I am going to the left 2 more. 1, 2. So my answer is -5. Okay? And I like to think the negatives are going to the left and the positives move us to the right. Okay? I also like to think of this as money. If I lost $3 and then I lost $2 more, how many dollars did I lose? I still am in the negative. I never gained anything. I lost $5. Okay? Let's do this again. We are at 0 and we go to -3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then from -3, I'm adding 6. So I'm adding 6. This means I'm going to the right. I'm gaining, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my answer is +3. So -3 plus 6 is +3. And we'll do one more of these. I'm at 0 and it says starting at 3. So 1, 2, 3. Starting at 3, we then have to add -5. So -5 is to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm end at -2. Okay? So this is how you can use a number line to add or subtract integers. But we can also actually memorize some rules, which will be helpful when we get to bigger numbers. And we don't want to draw a number line. As you can see, example 2 down here, we have -23. We don't want to draw a number line all the way out to -23. So what we're going to do is we can help by doing our rules. Okay? So when we add with the same sign, and I can give us an example as we go, if we are adding with the same sign, like 3 plus 5, which we did was 8, or if we have -3 plus -5, and that would give us -8, our rule is to add the numbers, just the numbers with no signs, 3 and 5, right? Add the numbers, and then take the sign of the numbers. Oops, take the sign of the numbers. Okay? So you can see here we had 3 plus 5, which was 8. 3 plus 5, which is 8. 3 plus 5, which is 8. And then the sign is whatever the numbers had. So here it was a positive, I'm going to get another color, +3 and +5. So our answer is positive. And we take the sign of the second one because we have a negative and a negative, so our answer was negative. Okay? So the same sign ones are easy. Add the numbers, take the sign of whatever they were. The different signs is a little bit more complicated, but not so much. We have 3 plus -5. I'll do one more. -3 plus 7. Okay? So for adding with different signs, we have a positive, I'll show us here, we have a positive and a negative, we have a negative and a positive, or we can use this positive sign, okay? Or we can use this one. Okay, so when we have different signs, what we're going to do is we are going to subtract the numbers, the absolute value of the numbers, so just the numbers without a sign. Subtract the numbers, and then you are going to take the sign of the bigger number. So watch what happens. I'm going to ignore the signs and just subtract the numbers. So for this first example, we have 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. And I'm going to take the sign of the bigger number. Which one is bigger, 3 or 5? 5 is bigger. So we are going to take the negative. Okay? Same thing for this one. Ignore all the signs. We have 3 and 7. We are going to subtract 3 and 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. And we are going to take the sign of the bigger number. 7 is bigger than 3, so I'm going to take the positive. Okay? And that is true for any of these here. So maybe I'll just do example 1 and example 2. Example 1, I see we are adding same signs. So when we add the same signs, we add the numbers. So 18 plus 16, which is 34. And take the signs that they have. They both have a negative, so this is negative 34. And one last one. Here I see we are adding, this is our adding, we are adding a positive and a negative, okay? So we have to subtract our numbers, 23 minus 8, which is 15. We have to take the sign of the higher number. So what's bigger, 23 or 8? And 23 is bigger, so we are taking the negative.